Hey guys, I am here with another book haul, and then what I am reading currently. The used bookstore that I go to in the town next to me was having another one of their 50% off everything sales up through Thanksgiving. So I went with my best friend yesterday, and I ended up getting 8. And then I have 2 that I found at the Dollar Tree, I want to say like 3 weeks ago, and then one a friend sent to me as a housewarming slash, we'll say wedding present, but just wedding present for me because, she knows my husband won't read it. And I also have some library books I want to show you because I always end up getting way more books than I will read before they're due back in 2 weeks. So I'll be lucky to finish 2 of 5. So I'll just show you those. The first one's from the used bookstore. I got 4 John Steinbecks because they were, other than the Pearl, they were $1 a piece. The Pearl was like 80 cents, 90 cents. So that's good. They're all, I'd say they're all, 2 are old covers and 2 are the Penguin literature editions. So I have the Red Pony by John Steinbeck. I have not read this one. Travels with Charlie in Search of America. This one's nonfiction, talking about his French poodle Charlie. Then we have The Pearl. This is the old, I think 1970s edition. Let's see. No. 1986. It's awfully old looking for 1986, but then 1986 was 30 years ago, so. And then Cannery Row, and this is old. I thought it was neat, a hardback. My best friend was going to buy it, and then I had a copy of The Pearl that was a newer Penguin edition that she wanted to match the copy of the Red Pony she was getting. She said, I'll trade you. If you take the old copy of The Pearl, I will give you, in exchange for the new one, I'll give you both. So I was like, okay, because I really wanted this one. I have read The Pearl and East of Eden, which East of Eden is one of my favorite books of all time. So it is my goal to acquire all of his books and read all of his books. So maybe these, if I'm feeling froggy, I will read in December because I don't have any December plans. I'm sticking with the nonfiction November, and that is all I've read. So proud of myself for that. Then I got Cherry Cheesecake Murder by Joanne Fluke, which is the next book. I'm up to this one. I know I'm way far behind since I think this is 10 and there are maybe 20 of them. That's okay, but it's also my goal this winter to get caught up on this series and, get to where it is now. It's my cozy mystery winter. And I only bought this because I have up to, I think, number 15. And I thought I lost this copy. Lo and behold, I was downstairs in my storeroom digging for books for somebody to read, and I found my other copy. But I don't feel bad because it was only $2, so whatever. The Book of Holiday Awesome. This is going to be one I read in December. It's super duper short, and I want to do 2 or 3 holiday books. I always read A Christmas Story because it's Tea-Tantsy too, so I already pulled that one out of the storeroom. And then Kitchen Privileges, a memoir by Mary Higgins Clark. I can honestly probably tell you I've only ever read one of her books, but because it was a memoir and I like nonfiction and it's short with the awesome deckled, you can't see, the awesome deckled edges, I had to get it. And my best friend said that she was interested in it, so I'll pass it along. And this one was, haha, funny, funny. I like any fact books. For some reason, I'm enamored with fact books. The most random, or the more random, the better. Like, can you have too much sex? And honestly, it's not all about sex. It's just like, oh, let's take the most question in the book and put it on the cover to grab your attention. So it did. It did. So that will be a fast read. And then the next 2 are ones that I got at Dollar Tree. So I got You Must Remember This, Life and Style in Hollywood's Golden Age by Robert J. Wagner. And I like old Hollywood and nonfiction, so I was excited to find this. And it's, you know, of course, brand freaking new. They don't even have any remainder marks, which always tickles me. And then this one sounded like a really good, if there's ever a stormy day or stormy night to pick it up and read it. Scary. But it's The Impaler by Gregory Finaro, or I don't know. But basically it's someone that kills people and impales them in random wooded areas. So they're trying to find this weirdo killer. And then the one that my friend sent to me is, appropriately, Wedding Cake Murder by Joanne Fluke. So this is, I do believe, the most recent one. And I'm not reading... I know who she's been dating, and I suspect who she's going to marry, but I don't want to know. Don't spoil it for me. Yeah, this is the most recent one that came out this year, so very appropriate that this came out the year I got married. And then the next ones are the ones I checked out from the library. The only one of, well, I'm working on a second one. I read The Pioneer Woman, which... I used to really love romance novels, but gag and puke. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say that, especially being a newlywed, but this was too cutesy, perfect. Life is peachy, you know, oh, we have a 2-second argument and then it's okay. Yeah, just, I think had I read it in college or maybe even 6-7 years ago, I probably would have been, oh my god, that's so sweet. I don't do romance novels anymore. They're just gaggerific. Stealing Buddha's Dinner, Bish Min Win. And this one is nonfiction. Basically a Vietnamese girl whose family moves to America and her kind of being, not shoved in, but being introduced to the American palate and the foods. And I read the first couple pages and she was kind of fascinated by Pringles. So, I mean, these are all due back on Saturday. So I have 3 days, if you count Saturday, before the library closes. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I'm going to be cooking in the morning. I can't say as I'm going to be doing a whole lot of reading. I will be very lucky to be able to read this one too and finish the one that I'm doing. The good thing about my library is it's so small that if I go and put this, you know, take it back, I can always go back in a couple weeks and it's going to be on the shelf. I have done that already and it's a wonderful thing. Yes, I could go and say, hey, can I check this out again? But for a while, I'm not going to do library books because, like I said, I get way too many and it kind of frustrates me when I take 2 and 3 back that are unread. So we'll do that. And then I have Market Square, History of the Most Democratic Place on Earth, Jack Neely. This is Market Square in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is the town kind of next to where I grew up. And nonfiction, history, love it. And then I don't have any opinions on her. I wasn't one of those that followed this closely, so I really don't. I can't say if she was guilty or not. I don't know enough about the case. I wasn't one of those that completely followed it. No. Waiting to Be Heard, Amanda Knox. It was one of those. I loved the large print versions of books. I'm weird like that. It just grabbed my attention. If I'm not mistaken, I may have the ebook. I'll just have to look. I don't know. But I just wanted to see what her side of the story is, whether it's baloney or not. Like I said, probably is, but meh. And then what I'm currently reading, this is the 5th library book. I am about 1/3 of the way through. It's fast, so this one will definitely be finished before I take it back to the library. But it's Year of Yes, How to Dance It Out, Stand in the Sun, and Be Your Own Person by Shonda Rhimes. Fast read. Very well written. You know, no doubt there because she is very talented. And then the last one I am reading is on my tablet. I had to turn the brightness down to actually be able to see it. But it's Food by Jim Gaffigan. I read his Why Dad is Fat. It was okay. This one is much better. And it won't take very long. But that is all I'm reading. Like I said, Nonfiction November. Let me see if I can pull up and tell you guys what I've read in Nonfiction November. Not a lot, honestly. We have so much going on. We have had a leak in the bathroom, which turned into, oh, the floor is rotten. So my husband is prying that up and putting down new subflooring and tiling it. So that's been a real joy the past week. And then getting painting more, putting stuff back in order. Buying a used house has been a challenge, but interesting. We'll eventually get it to where we want it to be. At least my office that I'm in is where it needs to be. I have everything hung on the walls. I've even got my little rinky-dink Christmas tree in here. I actually did that the day after Halloween. No, I'm not doing great in Nonfiction November. I didn't read as much as I wanted to. It's not to say, like, here's the calendar. I still have till next Wednesday, so I may be able to squeeze another one. But I read In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. I don't know if I said that right. A North Korean Girl's Journey to Freedom. That one was really good. I do recommend it. And then The Pioneer Woman, like I said, was gaggerific. Year of Yes. And then Jim Gaffigan, Baby, my one that ends me on Nonfiction November. Luckily, I'm not one of those people that only sticks to nonfiction in November. That's my bread and butter. That's what I read the most of. So I'm going to keep on going. But like I said, I want to read some Christmas books next month. And I'm three away. So if I finish these 2 nonfiction, then I'll be 1 away from being at 50 books for the year, which is more than I set my goal at, which was just 30. I wasn't expecting to read a whole lot, but my best year, I think I read 110, somewhere around in there. How, I don't know. I don't. But I'm proud of the 50, so that's good. But that's all. I'm wanting to think probably that I have others that I didn't show you in the last book haul, but I can't remember. The used bookstore that I went to, it's quite possible that they have another 50% off sale next month. They do them quite often because the owner's constantly getting new stuff. So that's always a really good thing for me. I might find a new series there for cheap that I'll start or try. But yeah, that's it. I feel like I'm grasping for straws now of things to talk about. But let me know if you've read any of these, if you recommend these, especially the John Steinbeck, which of those are your favorite, or if you didn't like them. Some people just don't like him. If anything looks good, I should read it soon. Let me know. But if you are in the U.S. and tomorrow is Thanksgiving, then happy Thanksgiving. And if not, happy Thursday. But I will see you guys next time, hopefully sooner rather than later. Bye.